I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Yuta Saros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the Bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Sonny. And before we get to the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, first, let me introduce you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you learn everything you need to know about the show and what you're getting educated about the show. Click on that merchandise tab. Going to take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our pride logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you come to know and love and expect from Renegades Puck are still available in our online store, whether that is socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, or so much more. Something like 88 different items with our logo on it. Best said, we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this operation, so here's how you can support the Renegades of Puck. You can find us on X and Threads. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook, TikTok as well. So please take just a second and give us a follow, give us a like, give us a subscription on any of those different platforms, whatever it is you prefer. Jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck YouTube. We sure could use your assistance right over there, and we sure do appreciate all of our new subscribers. So check us out by searching Renegades of Puck on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. That's where you'll find the latest episodes of Renegades of Puck TV, all of our preview segments, our recap segments, and all of our different specialty segments. We post them all there on our YouTube channel. Thanks to the Full Press Predators Network, the Full Press NHL Network, we have gone from local to global in 2023 and continued that momentum well on into 2024. So stick taps, love, and respect to everyone who's checked out the show and helped make us an incredible success in the podcast world. You can find us on Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon, several other platforms. Just search Renegades of Puck in your preferred platform today, and stick taps, love, and respect to everybody at the Full Press NHL Network for all of the hard work they've done behind the scenes to help make us such a great success. Venmo, that is how you can support the show financially. Just go to Venmo and search Renegades of Puck, or scan the QR code that is currently on your screen. Every dollar goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck, and we sure do appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time and helping us out with several different large projects over the last couple of years since we first launched this project. We always need the help, and we always need the support, and thanks to generous Renegades like you watching and listening right now, we've been able to make some significant upgrades, and we sure do appreciate that. Stick taps, love, and respect. It means a lot to have the support from such a great audience out there. It's great to be in the trenches with each and every one of you. Now listen, I know it's time for the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. At this moment in hockey history, we pause to recap the 2023-2024 NHL season for the Nashville Predators. We're going to do this in chunks of 5 games at a time, so here we go. It's time for the Rebirth Sports season recap.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to December 29th of the year 2023 when the Nashville Predators were in Detroit to face off against the Red Wings for the first of 2 regular season meetings. Head coach Andrew Burnett deployed his lines in the following way: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Parsonen, Novak, and Glass, Trennan, Sissons, and Evangelista, Smith, McCarron, and Tomasino, Sherwood healthy scratch for this game. McDonough and Yossi are your first defensive pairing. Luzon and Carrier, Fabro, and Shen. Barry out, but day-to-day, not a healthy scratch. UC Saros in net. Kevin Lankinen also still a scratch out day-to-day. Saros gets the start net with Askarov backing him up. We're 45 seconds into the first period, and it's Lyon coming up with a save on Luzon, the first shot on goal of the game. At 1:56 of the first period, it's Lyon coming up with another save, this time on Glass. At 2:30 of the first period, it's Raymond off to the box. 2 minutes for hooking, and it's UC Saros coming up with a save on Kopp's partial breakaway, got behind the D and had a great scoring chance after a sloppy pinch. Did I mention sloppy pinch? Well, off the transition, poor neutral zone play leads to another scoring opportunity for the Detroit Red Wings, except this time Larkin finishes off his 13th goal of the season, gets Detroit on the board 1-0 in head of the Nashville Predators, and easily one of the sloppiest 90 seconds worth of power play time you will see this entire season. Predators unable to convert with the final 31 seconds of their power play. 4:35 now into the first period. It's Lyon coming with a save on Trennan's backhand at 5:43 of the first. It's Lyon coming with a save on Luke Shen at the 8:30 mark of the first period. Lyon comes up with a save on Sisson's backhand opportunity at the 10:29 mark of the first period. It's Saros coming up with a save on Petrie's heavy shot at 10:43 of the first period. It's Philip Forsberg breaking through for the Nashville Predators. His 17th goal of the season comes after Nyquist does all of the hard work. You talk about bringing the no half step and jam. Chips the puck forward, wins the race to the end wall, goes behind the net, makes a great pass out to the slot area where Philip Forsberg cleans up with a sweet snipe. 17th of the season makes the score 1-1. Nashville is on the board. At 11:37 of the first period, it's Lyon coming up with a save on McCarron with Carrier crashing the net hard, setting the screen at 12:52 of the first. It's Lyon coming up with a save on O'Reilly from close range. A little bit of a trickler, not much on it, but still a pretty good scoring chance by the Predators right here at close range. 14:10 of the first period. You see Saros coming up with a save on Sprong, plus the follow-up. Some good jam right there by the Red Wings. 14:26, we see Tomasino off to the box. 2 minutes for hooking on Sprong. Not only did Sprong have two good scoring opportunities in a row, but then earns the power play for his team. You see Saros would come up with a save on Larkin, and then would come up with the absolute save of the game and one of the candidates for save of the season, as he would have to dive all the way across Superman style. Chris Mason's quote on the broadcast: dive across the crease Superman style to the weak side and come up with the big time save on Larkin before the end of the power play. Saros would stop Larkin one more time. Preds would survive this penalty kill. 16:48 of the first period. Saros coming with a save on Fabry at 19:25. The first period. Saros coming with a save on Kopp at 19:38 of the first period. It's Wallman picking up his 7th goal of the season, putting Detroit up 2-1. It was Rasmussen's cross slot pass to a crashing Wallman, who was all alone, had the time to pick his spot, and did he ever. What a snipe by the defenseman, crashing in hard from out there the blue line. Goals in the last minute of the period, always momentum swinging moments. Detroit now leads 2-1. After the end of the first period, it seemed like the Preds had such an overwhelming shot advantage for the first 10 minutes, but it ends up 15-12 in favor of Nashville. 105 into the second period. It's Lyon coming with a save on Glasses. Redirect 202. Saros a save on Kopp. 229. Lyon a save on Smith, plus the follow-up by McCarron, plus the rebound by Smith. 3 scoring opportunities by the Nashville Predators right here at the 229 mark of the second period. 3:10 the second period. It's Lyon coming with a save on Forsberg as he drove hard to the net at 6:29. Saros comes up with a save on Fabry at 6:40. Saros another save, this time on Rasmussen at 7:28 of the second period. It's Lyon coming up with a save on McCarron. We go all the way to the 11:11 mark as things just kind of evened out. A lot of play between the face-off circles, and Dante Fabro at 11:11 is off to the box. 2 minutes for slashing. That's where we see Nyquist. Yes, Nyquist coming up with his 7th goal of the season, shorthanded off of the rush. The patience on the finish as he cut across the top of the goal mouth, outweighted the goaltender line, and then put the puck into the net, puts the Predators up to 2 goals in this game, ties the game at 2 apiece. Saros would come up with a save on Fabry on the remainder of the power play, so the Nashville Predators get a shorthanded goal. Nyquist having one hell of a game so far in this early stage. We're at 13:49 of the second period, and it's Philip Forsberg now breaking the 2-2 tie, making it 3-2 in favor of the Nashville Predators. Second goal of the game is his 18th of the season, and it's Tommy Novak this time going behind the net to the end wall and winning the battle, and then making the pass to Forsberg in the low slot for the cleanup. Much like the way Nyquist got that primary assist earlier, Novak makes an incredible play, wins the battle, brings the jam, and gives Philip Forsberg the gift pass to finish off his 18th goal of the season. 3-2 now in favor of the Nashville Predators here in the second period, just like that. 17:47 now. Time between plays here. It's quite a while here as the game starts to even out. 17:47 now, and this is the second. Lyon coming up with a save on McDonough. 18:10. Lyon comes up with a save on Shen at 19:06. Saros comes up with the save on Kane. This leads to a large scrum when Comfer follows up the play and follows up the Kane shot after the whistle. Predators did not like that, so what we see is a number of penalties coming up right here. Comfer ends up getting the extra 2, which puts the Nashville Predators on the power play, but let's run this down quickly. Also, Comfer gets another 2 and 2 for roughing with Fabro, so each of them got matching minors, and Comfer got the extra 2. Yossi and DeBrincat was the surprise of this. Not a very lengthy scrap, but Still a fight for the captain, Roman Josi, two of the most high-skilled players in the game, and for the captain, Roman Josi, only the third fight of his entire NHL career. They're both off to the box for 5 minutes each. Lyon comes up with a save on O'Reilly on the Nashville Predators power play before the end of the second period. At the end of the second period, the Nashville Predators are out shooting Detroit 27-16, so the Preds only give up 4 shots on goal against in the second period. The power play carries over to the fresh sheet of the third period for 1 minute and 9 seconds, but unfortunately for the Nashville Predators, just simply not much is happening out there. At 3:09 of the third period, we see Lyon come with a save on Luke Evangelista. At 5:15 of the third period, you see Saros comes up with a save on Kopp. At the 7:15 mark of the third period, Saros comes up with a save on Sherratt. The Nashville Predators seem to be content to play between the circles so far in this third period, but at 9:28 of the third period, that burns him as DeBrincat gets his 17th goal of the season out of the box with fresh legs ready to go. He jumps in the 2-on-1 and finishes off the Compher sauce pass into the back of the net, tying the game up at 3 apiece midway through the third period. At the 10:01 mark of the third period, is Lyon coming with a save on the captain, Roman Josi. Then at 11:12 of the third period, it's Wallman again. His second goal of the game, his 8th of the season, was a top corner snipe from the sharp angle. The Preds got to scrambling, a couple of bodies down on the ice. Wallman finds the good quiet spot. He's able to pick his corner, and does he ever. Detroit suddenly, and just like that, leads 4-3 here in the third period. But then at 12:21, just over a minute later, it's Gus Nyquist's 8th goal of the season, his second goal of the game. It was the second rebound put back. Luke Schenn takes the long shot, and then Philip Forsberg gets the first tap at it, and then Nyquist is there bringing the jam, picking up the goal, his second of the game, 8th of the season. The Predators' 4th goal of the game. We're now tied at 4 apiece at 12:21 of the third period. At the 12:30 mark of the third period, CC Saros coming up with a save on Larkin. We see a scrum after the whistle. No penalties, though. 14:56 of the third period, Lyon comes up with a save on Trennan at 16:11 of the third period. It's Lyon coming up with a save on Forsberg, and the two teams seem very content to skate out the regulation and get the point each and settle this thing in overtime. So we hit the end of regulation with the Nashville Predators out shooting the Detroit Red Wings 35-22. Now we start the 3-on-3 overtime session, and 44 seconds in, the Nashville Predators, of course, have one possession and won so many games in immediate time in overtime. This time, 44 seconds in, Lyon comes up with a save on Forsberg and his wrist shot. 53 seconds, Lyon comes up with a save on Sissons with a shaft of the stick. But then the Red Wings are able to gain possession. They're able to wear O'Reilly and the other Predators down. And at the 2:13 mark of overtime, it is Raymond with his 11th goal of the season, winning this game for the Detroit Red Wings. He walks it in from the blue line on a tired O'Reilly, picks his spot and snipes on UC Saros. Detroit comes away with the 5-4 victory on home ice in overtime in this one. The Nashville Predators do outshoot the Red Wings 37-23, but for the Nashville Predators, I highly doubt they're going to be satisfied just winning the shots on goal. They had their opportunities in this one, but again, unable to maintain the lead when they had it, and then unable to keep this game tied and unable to win it there early in overtime. So for the Nashville Predators, I think this one got away from them just a little bit. They had opportunities to beat the Red Wings in this game. Forsberg, Nyquist, O'Reilly, all having really good games, despite O'Reilly getting caught out there in the overtime with the tired legs. He was out there for almost 2.5 minutes of overtime, so he gets caught, and the Nashville Predators get caught. But early in the game, the Preds were having some difficulties getting caught pinching, giving up a shorthanded goal. There was just not really good hockey early in this game. It led to the Nashville Predators' demise. They end up sacrificing a point. Now they got to turn around quickly. Washington tomorrow night. So this was just the first of 2 on this back-to-back road trip. UC Saros takes another loss in this one. Preds' first overtime loss of the year. That's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Back next on the Renegades Puck Podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to December 30th of the year 2023, when the Nashville Predators were closing out the regular season series in Washington against the Capitals and also closing out the 2023 schedule. Head coach Andrew Burnett deploys his lines in the following way on the second night of back-to-backs. Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist. Sherwood back in the lineup. Parsons and Sissons are his line mates on the second line. Smith, Novak, and Evangelista on the third line. Trennan, McCarron, and Tomasino on your fourth line. Your defensive pairings are McDonough and Yossi, Luzon and Carey. Fabro and Shen. Barry is listed as day-to-day. Lankinen also listed as day-to-day. So Yaroslav Askarov gets his second ever NHL start, his first of this season. Just 15 seconds into the game, and it's Shepard coming up with a save on O'Reilly. First shot on goal of the game. 43 seconds into the first period, Shepard coming up with another save on Sherwood. 1:59 into the first period, it's Skarov coming up with a save on Sandin. His first save of the game at 2:44 of the first period. Luke Evangelista's fifth goal of the season, a spinning rebound put back from the slot, gives the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead over the Caps at 3:52 of the first period. Shepard coming up with a save on Ryan McDonough at 5:03 of the first period. It's Askarov coming up with a save on Protos at 6:03 of the first period. So Ovechkin off to the box. 2 minutes for cross-check, and that's where we found the captain, Roman Josi, burying his eighth goal of the season, giving the Nashville Predators a 2-0 lead here early in the first period. He walked it to the middle, picked his place, and took a shot with good, healthy traffic in front of the net. Again, Yosi's eighth goal of the season makes it 2-0 in favor of the Nashville Predators on the power play. 8:48 into the first. Shepard save on Josi. This time 9:38. Askarov comes up with a save on Carlson at 10:25. Malestein comes up with his third goal of the season, getting the Washington Capitals on the board. 2-1 now in favor of the Nashville Predators. This goal happened because, well, simply the Nashville Predators were sloppy, choppy, and loose in their own defensive end, giving up multiple turnovers before the rebound putback can be easily finished off by Malestein. Good credit to the fourth line of the Washington Capitals. They were really bringing the jam and grinding, and they took the puck away from the Preds a couple times in their own zone. 2-1 hockey game now. 12:46 into the first period. McCarron off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. This penalty kill can only be described as excellent. 0 shots on goal. Sissons and Cole Smith absolutely doing dynamic work out there shorthanded. 16:13 of the first period. Shepard coming up with a save on McCarron, and then immediately after the shot, McCarron and Wilson are off the box. 5 minutes each. Not a whole lot for the fight. A lot of clutching, a lot of grabbing, and a couple of punches while they were down. They certainly got the better of each other in the chirping department than they did in the punching department, but they're both off to the box for 5 minutes. At 18:56 of the first period, Askarov coming over with a save on Ethan Bear. At 19:57 of the first, Askarov coming over with a save on Carlson. The 20-minute mark, Luzon and Edmondson off to the box. 2 minutes each for a roughing. I felt like this was the easy way out for the officials. Many players were involved in the end of the period scrum, and it was definitely initiated by Edmondson on Luzon. I felt this was the easiest way out for the situation. We'll start the second period with some 4-on-4 hockey, but the first period will wrap up with the Preds having a 2-goal lead, 2-1 lead, that is, and the Washington Capitals out shooting the Preds 12-11. 18 seconds into the second period. This is during 4-on-4 hockey. Shepard comes up with a save on Forsberg at the 35-second mark of the second. Askarov comes up with a save on Kuznetsov. The 1:48 mark of the second period. Shepard comes up with a save on Josi. We return to 5-on-5 even strength hockey, and at 3:29 we see Shepard coming with a save on Luke Evangelista at the 6:22 mark of the second period. It's Shepard coming up with a save on Luzon at 7:29 of the second period. It's Askarov coming up with a save on the jam attempt after the shot goes off of the post, lands behind him, and he has to dive backwards on top of the puck carry with the goal line support from the defensive standpoint there. Great job right there supporting his young rookie goaltender. Come up with the save. 9:17 in the second period. Shepard comes up with a save on McCarron. Tomasino set this play up off the half wall. The delay, the hold, the setup of the pass, all of it was the excellence of execution by Philip Tomasino, and McCarron got a really good strong shot off right here, but Shepard gets the best of everyone. 12:27 now of the second period, and it's Shepard coming with the save on Ryan McDonough at the 12:56 mark of the second period. It's Luke Evangelista off to the box. 2 minutes for holding. An outstanding penalty kill by the Nashville Predators. They would not allow a single shot on goal, but unfortunately for the Nashville Predators, on what we'd like to call the continuation, just a couple of seconds after the power play expired, with Washington still holding the puck possession and a distinct advantage, Ovechkin capitalizes officially at 14:59 of the second period, his seventh goal of the season, tying the game up at 2 apiece. And you know exactly what the play was. A one-time bomb from the left circle, and welcome to the club, Yaroslav, number 171 1 in the goalies that have given up a goal to Alex Ovechkin club. So we are now tied at 2 apiece in the second period. We move to the 16:30 mark of the second. That's when Shepard comes up with a save on O'Reilly's wraparound attempt. O'Reilly checked the short side, then decided to try the wraparound, got shut down by Shepard. Either way, he decided. 16:44. Shepard robs Tommy Novak at the back door. Maybe not quite enough sauce on that pass from Forsberg, but Novak got a good look at the back post, and Shepard was there to deny. 17:03 of the second period. Shepard comes up with a save on Luke Evangelista. 18:05 of the second period. At Saskarov coming up with a save on Malestein. 18:58, another save on Edmondson. In 19:57, Shepard comes up with a save on Luzon from the half wall. Never hurts to throw it on net, and this shot had more trouble than you would expect at the end of the period. The Nashville Predators are now out shooting Washington 25-17, so the Caps only get 5 shots on goal in the second period, but they do pick up the goal to tie the game. We flip the sheet over, and we start with the third period, and we are 1 minute and 1 second onto that clean sheet, and it's Shepard back to work, coming up with a save on Jeremy Luzon at 1:29 of the third period. Zaskarov coming up with a save on McMichael. 2:06. Zaskarov coming up with a save on Kuznetsov at 4:01 of the third period. It's McMichael off to the box. 2 minutes for holding, but it would be the Nashville Predators coming up with the big-time stops right here as the rookie netminder would come with a save on Kuznetsov, then another save on Dowd, and the Nashville Predators on the entirety of their 2-minute power play would not generate a single shot on goal. That's right, not a single shot on goal for the Preds, but 2 for the Washington Capitals, shorthanded. 7:07 of the third period. It's Shepard coming up with a save on Tommy Novak. At 7:20 of the third period, it's Saskarov coming up with a save on Edmondson. 7:48, Shepard a save on Forsberg. Teams trading chances back and forth here in the middle of the third period. The 9:01 mark of the third, and Shepard coming up with a save on Yakov Trennin's wrist shot at 10:26 of the third period. It's Askarov coming up with a save on Jensen's long, heavy shot at the 11:38 mark of the third period. It's Shepard coming up with a save on Luke Shen. 13:02, Shepard back to work. This time a save on Philip Forsberg. 15:41, another big-time save on Yakov Trenin. Then 16:32, Shepard yet another save on Philip Forsberg's redirect from close range. Now, at 18:59 of the third period, when it seemed like things were settling down and the teams were just going to go ahead and get a point and split this thing later on, at 18:59, it's Alex Ovechkin seeming to get on the board. It was on a delayed call. Ovechkin jumps off of the bench. The delayed call was going to be on Luke Shen. Ovechkin off of the bench, able to finish off the play. This was reviewed. Initially not understood what they were reviewing it for. Turns out they were reviewing it for goaltender interference. They ruled it was goaltender interference. They took the goal off of the board. So instead of it being 3-2 and Ovechkin having his second goal of the game, we go back to a 2-2 hockey game. Put 19 minutes, 1 minute left on the clock in the third, and Shen in the box for 2 minutes. The official call is hooking. 2-2 hockey game. At the end of regulation, because the Predators would prevent getting any shots for the Washington Capitals on their power play for that minute, the Nashville Predators are out shooting the Washington Capitals 33-26. Both teams earn a point. We'll settle the third point in overtime. The carryover of 1 minute into OT means instead of the 3-on-3, we'll start with the 4-on-3. And Skarov is coming out with a big save on Carlson. Sharp angle, heavy shot. And they go to even strength hockey, which is now 4-on-4 hockey, and would remain that way for quite some time as the teams would skate up and down, and it got kind of scary for a couple of minutes for both teams, but they weren't really getting the clean scoring chance. 3:56 of the overtime period. It's Shepard coming out with a save on Forsberg, and this rush plus the jam was simply incredible. If Forsberg could have finished this one off, this one would have been on the season-ending highlight reel. There is no doubt about that. Philip Forsberg makes a couple of sick moves through the defenders, then almost stuffs the puck home on the goal line. At 4:10 of overtime, Zaskarov coming out with a save on Wilson. We hit the end of overtime. We'll go to a shootout. Shots on goal for the game, 34 for Nashville, 28 for the Washington Capitals. Now, going into the shootout, the Washington Capitals are going to shoot first, and it's Kuznetsov coming in with the slowest move you've seen since Ryan Johansson, and he gets stopped by Yaroslav Askarov, and then Nyquist goes for the Nashville Predators, goes bar down, converting also with the slow and low move, picks his spot with a wrist shot, and converts, putting the Preds up 1-0 in the shootout. Ovechkin then takes the opportunity and is shut down by his countrymate O'Reilly then finishes the shootout with the wrist shot again, beating Shepard. 2-0 is the shootout win. 3-2 is officially the win for the Nashville Predators in the shootout. Shots on goal for the game, 34-28. Yaroslav Askarov gets his first ever victory in the NHL and only his second career start, and he stops two of the most famous countrymen he will ever get a chance to play against in the NHL. We've got so much more coming up on this game on the Renegades of Puck podcast. Analysis, box score, and more coming up next. The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way, from startup to full-time operation. Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions. It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap, and we go all the way back to January 2nd of the year 2024. Can it already be the first game of the calendar year 2024? The Nashville Predators taking on the Chicago Blackhawks at Bridgestone Arena, and head coach Andrew Burnett deployed his lines and defensive combinations in the following way. Forsberg, O'Reilly, Nyquist make up your first line. Sissons, Parson, and Sherwood, Smith, Novak, Evangelista, Trennan, McCarron, Tomasino. Your defensive pairings are as follows: Yossi and Favreau, McDonough and Shen, Luzon and Carrier. UC Saros gets the start on home ice in net. We are 144 into the game. It's Luke Evangelista hitting the post and ringing in the new year. At 1:58 of the first period, it's Soderblom coming with a save on Cole Smith. It's the first shot on goal of the game for either team. At 2:07 of the first, Soderblom comes with a save on Luke Evangelista. At 3:58, Soderblom another save, this time on O'Reilly. At 4:30 of the first period, UC Saros dials in and checks in for the first time. Comes with the save on Gutman. Close range right here. Good scoring opportunity for the Blackhawks. His first save of the game, a good one. 4:43 of the first period, it's Sensi off to the box. 2 minutes for holding, and it's going to be Nyquist cashing in on the power play for the Nashville Predators. His ninth goal of the season. He goes far side with the wrist shot from the dot, cashing in. Nyquist has been on an absolute hot streak as of late. His ninth goal gives the Predators a 1-0 lead over Chicago here in the first period. 7:15 in the first, Soderblom comes with a save on Yakov. Trennan at 10:42 of the first period. UC Saros comes with a save on Sene at 11:33 of the first period. Soderblom comes with a save on Luke Shen. 12:42, Saros back on the clock, coming up with a save on Reichel. And at 14:16, Soderblom back to work again. A save on Gus Nyquist at 15:27. Another save on Alex Carey down the other end of the ice. Now UC Saros clocking back in at 16:48 of the first period. Light period for Saros. A save on Gutman again here in the first. 17:48 here of the first period. It's Soderblom coming up with a save on Michael McCarron at the 18:32 mark of the first period. Soderblom another save on Philip Tomasino at the 19:37 mark of the first period. We see the Predators taking their first penalty of the game. It's Jeremy Lauzon off the box, 2 minutes for interference. This hit took place in the neutral zone. Just a mistiming of a play. It was never played by the Blackhawks player there in the neutral zone. And on the power play, it would be Bedard having his shot blocked by Luke Shen, with UC Saros in a vulnerable position. Not necessarily down and out, but definitely not in the position he would like to be in. We hit the end of the first period. The Nashville Predators pile up shots in the first, out shooting Chicago 16-5. They also take a 1-0 lead into the second period. But the Blackhawks will start the second period in the clean sheet with 1 minute and 38 seconds of power play time, and we go to that power play now, where the Nashville Predators are absolutely not perfect, but they are good enough on the PK. They don't give up a single shot on goal, but they do give up plenty of zone time at 2:22 of the second period. UC Saros comes up with a save on Beauvillier at 2:45 of the second period. It's Soderblom coming with his first save of the second period, and that's on Luke Evangelista at the 3:12 mark of the second period. UC Saros coming up with a save on Donato, and then things really kind of slow down, almost almost to a crawl at this point in the period. At 7:52, Soderblom comes up with a save on Alex Carey at 9:11 now. Already at 9:11 in the second period, UC Saros comes with a save on former Nashville Predator Blackwell, 9:59, right at the midpoint of the game. Soderblom comes with a save on Philip Tomasino at the 10:54 mark of the second period now. Into the second half of the game, UC Saros comes with a save on Coué plus the follow-up, and Chicago is starting to tilt the ice in their favor the last couple of shifts. The Nashville Predators have kind of come out flat here in the second and are struggling, honestly, to generate any type of offense and are just kind of letting Chicago have their way. We finally get a couple of TV timeouts after a long stretch without a whistle, and we hit the 13:22 mark of the second period, and that's when Soderblom comes with a save on Cole Smith at the 14:31 mark of the second period. Soderblom comes up with a save on the captain, Roman Josi. 16:21, UC Saros back to work with a save on Dickinson at the 17:10 mark of the second period. It's Foligno off the box. 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct, and that comes along with 5 minutes for fighting. He and Luzon get into a fight. It was Luzon took his man into the end wall hard. There was a little bit of an off-balance situation, a little bit of a lost edge going into that as well. Still an incredibly hard hit, and it was Foligno going immediately after Luzon. The two of them got into a fairly decent scrap. A short scrap had to be ended pretty quickly, though, when the jersey got pulled over the head of Luzon. Wow, the times sure have changed, because that would have gone on for a while and probably been quite a beating. But Foligno gets the extra 2 for unsportsmanlike in this conduct, plus the 5, Luzon for 5. And on the power play for the Nashville Predators, it would be Soderblom coming over the save on Colton Sisson's tip at close range, then another save on Philip Forsberg, and then a third save on Parsonen, again at close range. The Nashville Predators were just peppering the net during this power play opportunity. At the 19:40 mark of the second period, we find Soderblom making one more save, this time on the captain, Roman Josi, and just as the period is expiring, the whistle blew just as the horn was going. It is deemed to be Juuso Parsonen picking up a penalty, 2 minutes for high sticking. This comes at the 20-minute mark even, so they send the players off for the intermission. The Preds lead 1-0 in this game on home ice, but after a large portion of the second period where the Preds, frankly, weren't in this period, they do get back into it late, but they end up putting the Blackhawks on the power play. Shots on goal at the end of 2 periods. The Nashville Predators have 25 on net, so 9 in the second period. The Blackhawks have 13, so 8 in the second period. We flip over to the backside, and the clean sheet of ice for the third period. Carryover on the power play is 2 full minutes. The Nashville Predators would bend not break in this situation. Chicago misses 2 very good close-range opportunities, missing the net on both of those shots. As a matter of fact, they would not register a single shot on goal, so the Nashville Predators able to keep the Blackhawks from registering a shot on goal again for a full 2 minutes. At the 3:45 mark, back to 5-on-5 hockey. It's UC Saros coming with the save on Zaitsev, plus the follow-up by Reichel at the 4:20 mark of the third period. It's Soderblom coming with the save on Yakov, turning at 5:04 of the third period. To Saros coming up with the save on Kurashev at the 5:24 mark. Soderblom comes with the save on Sisson's teams, trading chances back and forth for a couple of minutes here in the third period. And then we hit another one of those long crawl points periods, very much so without any whistles, any stoppages, any slowdowns, and really any shots on goal to talk about. 9:15 into the third period. Now Saros comes with a save on Blackwell, plus the follow-up by Foligno at 10:18 of the third period. Now just past the halfway point of the third, Soderblom coming with a save on Tommy Novak at the 10:49 mark. We see UC Saros come with a save on Gutman. Gutman, one of the most noticeable Chicago Blackhawks on the ice, generating shots on goal throughout this game. At the 11:43 mark of the third period, we see O'Reilly. He's off to the box. 2 minutes for hooking, putting Chicago on the power play. It would be UC Saros coming up with a save on Reichel. The Nashville Predators power play penalty kill is able to, again, bend not break. They're able to hold and maintain their lead. At the 14:51 mark of the second period, we see Soderblom coming up with a save on Shen, and this save comes as a penalty is being called. It's Kachuk off the box, 2 minutes for hooking on Philip Forsberg. Philip Forsberg was driving hard to the net and causing some mayhem. Immediately on the power play, as soon as it gets started, it's Murphy picking up another minor penalty. 2 minutes for hooking again on Philip Forsberg. We see the 5-on-3 now for the Nashville Predators for 1 minute and 41 seconds, and that's where we find O'Reilly cashing in with his 15th goal of the season. And of course, it's Philip Forsberg with the perfect cross-crease pass across to O'Reilly for the open net slam. Easy put in for O'Reilly. So Philip Forsberg draws both of the penalties that put the Predators on the 5-on-3 and then gets the primary assist on the Predators' second goal of the game. Now 2-0 in favor of the Nashville Predators. Preds still have a full 5-on-4 power play. Soderblom would come up with a save on Tommy Novak. Then Soderblom would come up with a save on Roman Josi as the Predators continue putting the pressure on, but they would not be able to score again on that special team situation. 17:26 of the third period. Soderblom coming up with a great save on O'Reilly at the edge of the crease. This would have closed out the game for sure. But in 19:27 with the empty net scenario, it's Luke Evangelista closing out the game with his 6th goal of the season coming from the neutral zone. The empty net goal, his 6th of the season. It's awarded to Luke Evangelista. Nashville Predators lead 3-0. 19:40 of the third. UC Saros because of the save on Blackwell and one more save on Blackwell before the end of regulation. The Nashville Predators win this game 3-0 over the Chicago Blackhawks, out shooting the Blackhawks 36-21. Aside from a long second period lull to start the period, the Nashville Predators look relatively good, and a 3-0 shutout over a division rival is always going to be acceptable. UC Saros' second shutout of the season, 21 saves on 21 shots against. And again, the Nashville Predators pick up the victory on home ice to start the calendar year 2024. Nyquist, O'Reilly on the score sheet again. Luke Evangelista with the empty netter. And for the Nashville Predators, they did what they needed to do. The coach challenged him to win a game on home ice, take over. They could have played a full 60, maybe a little bit better. We'll talk about that in the analysis portion of things, though. That was the Rebirth Sports full game recap. You gave us 10 minutes. We gave you the entire game. Now let's give you the analysis and so much more coming up next on the Renegades of Puck podcast. It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. You give me 10 minutes, I'm going to give you the entire game. We go all the way back to January the 4th of the year 2024 when the Nashville Predators were facing off against Calgary Flames and closing out the regular season series. Head coach Andrew Burnett deployed his lines in the following way: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist; Sissons, Parson, and Sherwood; Smith, Novak, and Evangelista; Trennan, McCarron, and Sissons. Your defensive pairings are Josi and Favreau, McDonough and Shen, Luzon and Carrier. UC Saros gets the start in net. We are just 14 seconds into the game at Bridgestone Arena, and UC Saros coming up with a save on Hannafin. That's the first shot on goal of the game at 2:35 of the first period. Vladar coming up with a save on Michael McCarron at 3:12 of the first. McCarron's off the box. 2 minutes for hooking. We got our first special teams situation, first penalty of the game, and it's UC Saros coming up with a save on Lindholm. Then UC Saros coming up with a save on Nazem Kadri, but then Zary gets his 8th goal of the season. He brings a whole lot of jam around the net, and this puck was pinballing and bouncing and going everywhere, and it went the only place that it needed to go was over the goal line. And he gets his 8th goal of the season. Calgary Flames lead 1-0 with a power play goal early in the first period, but at 5:12, almost immediately, Coleman, his 15th goal of the season, is off of Josi and into the net. The Calgary Flames, just like that, already up 2-0 here at Bridgestone Arena, but things are getting interesting here. It's not even a minute later. It's 6:09 in the first period now, and Philip Forsberg's getting his 19th goal of the season, cutting the lead to 2-1 in favor of Calgary. He brings the rebound jam and wins the battle in front of the net for the loose puck, converting for the Nashville Predators. We're at the 7:23 mark of the first period. UC Saros coming with a save on Anderson. 7:57. Nazem Kadri's 11th goal of the season restores the 2-goal advantage for the Calgary Flames, making this game 3-1. The Preds, slow to react in their own zone. And the Preds, through the first 8 minutes of this game, just seem to be sleepwalking. They've given up 3 goals now in the first 8 minutes of the game. We are 8:11 into the first period. It's Vladar coming up with a save on Smith at 11:49. Vladar comes with a save on Juuso Parson. 15:09 of the first period now. Vladar comes up with a save on Alex Carey at the 15:50 mark of the first period. It's Colton Sissons coming up with his 12th goal of the season. Another remarkable hand-eye coordination play tip at the top of the crease. Parson also reaching out, had a chance to deflect it, but Sissons gets there, takes it away, and puts the puck in. Favreau was the one who had the long shot. Favreau's shot was set up by Roman Josi, so they both pick up assists on Colton Sissons. Pretty incredible redirect, and we've seen him do this a couple of times this this season. His net front ability is pretty damn good. 12th goal of the season for Citizens gives the Predators their second goal of the game. Now Calgary leads 3-2. We're at 16:45. The first period. Hannafin and Evangelista both off the box, 2 minutes each. One for something and one for embellishing. It's 4-on-4. I'm just moving on from the situation. But during the 4-on-4 situation, the National Predators could not simply move on because Anderson's picking up his 6th goal of the season. There was only 1 second left on the 4-on-4, and the Nashville Predators surrender the 4-on-4 goal, making this game 4-2 in favor of Calgary. Preds surrendering 4 goals here in the first period. 19-16 of the first period. It's Vladar coming up with a save on Smith. We hit the end of the first period. A pretty wild first period. Calgary only 11 shots on goal, but they have 4 goals in this game. UC Saros is leaky, and so are the rest of the Nashville Predators. Preds have 10 shots on goal. We go to the clean sheet in the second period, and the Predators looking to respond. At 1:07 of the second period, UC Saros coming with a save on Lindholm at the 1:32 mark. Saros comes with a save on Uyghur at the 2:10 mark. It is Shen off the box. 2 minutes for tripping Anderson, and then off the box. 2 minutes for holding the stick on McCarron. McCarron doing a great job on the PK, holding the puck in the offensive zone. And while Anderson was down, he's going to go ahead and grab the stick of McCarron, creating a 4-on-4 scenario for 48 seconds. Preds survive this one when Saros makes the save on Backlund. The Predators then get a power play for 1 minute and 11 seconds, but unfortunately, absolutely nothing is happening for this National Predators team on this man advantage. At 5:07 of the second period, UC Saros comes up with a save on Backlund. At 5:51 of the second period, Vladar comes with a save on McCarron. 6:25, Saros a save on Zari. The teams trading chances briefly here in the second period. The Nashville Predators would not show a whole lot of offensive life here in this middle frame. At 7:37 of the second, Saros comes with a save on Coleman. 8:44, Saros comes with a save on Sharon Govich. At 12:04 of the second period, after some back and forth between the circles, it's Vladar coming up with a save on Shen. At the 12:43 mark, Tomasino's off the box. 2 minutes for tripping. This certainly brought the ire of the Calgary Flames, as the knee was very close to being knee-on-knee. Saros comes up with a save on Sharon Govich, while shorthanded, then comes up with another save on Coleman, and UC Saros come up with a third impressive save on Backlund before the Nashville Predators survive this penalty kill situation against Calgary Flames. We return to 5-on-5 hockey, and at 17:44 of the second, we find UC Saros coming up with a save on Backlund. At 19:45, with just 15 seconds left in the period, Vladar comes up with a save on Cole Smith. We flip to the back of the sheet. For some reason, there's still things going in the second period, and we find at 19:59 of the second period, Hannafin, his 6th goal of the season. And I wrote a remark about just the sloppiest, laziest defensive coverage by Yossi and McDonough, and frankly, everyone else on the team. Yossi stepped up to try to keep the puck in the offensive zone with about 13 seconds left, and by the time there's 1 second left, there's odd man rushes all over the Preds' defensive zone, and the Calgary Flames are converting. And this 5th goal of the game truly takes any momentum that the Nashville Predators seem to be having, building, gaining, whatever. It took it all away. Shots on goal at the end of the second period. 5-2 in favor of Calgary is the score. Shots on goal, 26 for Calgary, and it is 19 for the Nashville Predators. We start the clean sheet in the third period with UC Saros finding himself on the bench, and Kevin Lankinen is clocking in to go to work. 28 seconds into the third period, it's Vladar coming up with a save on Jeremy Luzon at the 1:27 mark. Lankinen makes his first save of the game, and that's on D. Simone. At the 2:15 mark of the third period, the Nashville Predators catch a break. Michael McCarron from the neutral zone dumps the puck in, catches Vladar unaware. McCarron gets his 6th goal of the season. It's the Preds' 3rd goal of the game. Calgary still has a 2-goal lead, 5-3, but the Preds, at least catching a break, seem to have a tiny bit of buzz to him. At 3:29 of the third period, Lankinen comes with a save on Gilbert. At 3:52 of the third, Vladar comes with a save on Sissons, plus the follow-up by Parsonen. At the 5:26 mark of the third period, Vladar comes with a save on the captain, Roman Josi. At 6:15, Lankinen comes up with a save on Backlund. At the 8-minute mark of the third period, Vladar coming up with a save on McCarron's wraparound opportunity. Michael McCarron, the offensive force in this game. 8:37 of the third period, Vladar comes with a save on the captain, Roman Josi. At the 9:32 mark, it's Lankinen coming with a save on Nazem Kadri. At 10:17 of the third period, Lankinen comes with a save on Ruzicka. 12:19, Vladar save on Tomasino. At 13:13, we find Vladar coming up with a save on Dante Fabro. But at 14:04 of the third period, we see Sharon Govich picking up a goal, his 12th of the season. This gives the Calgary Flames a 6-3 lead in this game, and that's all but sealed seals the score, but still some time to go in this game. The Nashville Predators, frankly, just unable to make any type of D-zone coverage in this game and just be effective truly at all in front of UC Saros. And with UC Saros already being leaky, 6 goals is, frankly, it's not a surprise. 14:30 of the third period. Now, we have to talk about this one. We have to slow down on this one. Tomasino picks up a match penalty for slew footing. Now, that leads to and means he is suspended immediately as of that penalty being called until the NHL reviews it and either rescinds the suspension or announces what the suspension may be, as in 1 game, 2 games, whatever it may be. Now, let's slow down and go back because that's the facts. That's where we are. Philip Tomasino went in hard on Gilbert, and it did not look like he slew-footed him. I watched it just like everybody else did on the broadcast, just like we all went and checked on the internet a dozen more times. I truly don't think this measured up to the level of a match penalty. With the player being down and injured, that's horrible. It's terrible to see, but it looked more like it was an unfortunate collision with a fall after the collision over Tomasino's leg that then led to him hitting his head on the ice. But the referees reviewed it, and they deemed it to be a 5-minute match penalty, and that is immediately a suspension. Now, with the Nashville Predators shorthanded for basically the remainder of the game, Lankinen comes up with a save on Kadri, then Lankinen comes with a save on Sharangovich, and Lankinen comes up with one more save on Hanifin. Hit the 18:58 mark of the third period. Lankinen comes up with one more save on Coleman. 6-3 is your final. The Calgary Flames win this one in convincing fashion. At no point in time were the Nashville Predators a threat to winning this game. Right out of the gate, the Flames were the much better team. The Flames win the season series 2-1. These two teams were 1-1 and were exactly even in scoring. No reason that the Nashville Predators should have come out this flat on home ice. They were challenged by their head coach just a couple of days ago, but this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde thing that this Predators team is doing back and forth every other game. They're a beast on Tuesday, and then they can't even get out of their own way on Thursday. It's who knows what this Nashville Predators team is doing right now, but they're at an imbalance, and there's some things we need to talk about. But 6-3 is your final, and your shots on goal, 39 for Calgary, 32 for the Nashville Predators. That's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We've got a lot of analysis coming up, and even some complaining to do right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast. It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to January 6th of the year 2024 when the Nashville Predators were in Dallas to take on the Stars. Head coach Andrew Burnett deploys his line combinations in the following way: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Sissons, Parson, and recently called up Goryanov, Smith, Novak, and Evangelista, Trennan, McCarron, and Tomasino. Your defensive pairings are Yossi and Barra, Luzon and Carey, McDonough and Shen, and Kevin Lankinen gets the start in net on the road for this pivotal Central Division matchup. We are 1 minute and 4 seconds into the game, and it is Wedgwood coming with a save on O'Reilly. That's going to be the first shot on goal of the game at the 5:02 mark. That's right, we go 4 minutes without anything happening here. Lankinen comes with a save on Robertson's the first save of the game for Kevin Lankinen. The two teams are playing it close immediately in this game. We go to 6:17 of the first period, and it's Lankinen coming up with a save on Sagan. The Preds D got to scrambling and gave up a good scoring opportunity right here. We go all the way to the 9:34 mark of the first period when Wedgwood comes up with a save on Trennan at 10:58 of the first period. Lankinen comes up with a save on Steele. So again, these two teams are really playing some good, tight hockey here in the first period in Dallas. To the 11:26 mark of the first period, we have our first goal of the game, and it's going to be by Nyquist, getting his 10th goal of the season, giving the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead. It was O'Reilly doing the hard work and bringing the jam in the corner, helps spring the puck. Unfortunately, not awarded an assist on this one. Nyquist finds the loose puck and absolutely rips a sweet wrist shot into the net. Nyquist's 10th goal of the season gives the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead here at the 11:26 mark of the first period. With the 11:50 mark of the first period, we find our first penalty of the game. It's going to be on Lindell, 2 minutes for interference. Wedgwood would have to come up with a save on Yossi, and then we would see a strong penalty kill by the Dallas Stars. Incredibly aggressive and very active with their sticks. They are very difficult and definitely earn that number 4 overall rating in the NHL. 14-1 of the first period. Lankinen coming with a save on Lindell after the Preds turnover at the end of the power play. The Preds got a little bit reckless, a little bit too cute, could not find the shot, so So a couple of different passes ends up leading to a turnover, an odd man rush the other way with Lendell coming out of the box. At 16:22 of the first, it's Wedgwood coming to the save on O'Reilly at the top of the crease. Great job by O'Reilly cutting hard to the net right here at 17:47 of the first. It's Wedgwood coming in with a save on Tomasino's backhand off of the rush. 18:08 of the first period. It's Lankinen coming up with a save on Craig Smith. Yes, indeed, that Craig Smith. 19:02 of the first period. It's Carrier off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. The Nashville Predators picking up their first penalty of the game. A strong PK to close out the final 58 seconds of the period. So at the end of the first period, the Nashville Predators hold a 1-0 lead and are out shooting the Dallas Stars 9-6. The power play carries over to the clean sheet on the second period for 1 minute and 2 seconds, and we find Wedgwood doing the work immediately, coming with a shorthanded save on Smith, with Sissons following up the play and getting a second shorthanded scoring chance for this Nashville Predators team. Lankinen then comes up with a save on Robertson. The Preds are able to maintain a good, strong penalty kill. At 2:24 of the second period, it's Lankinen coming with the save on Marchment's partial breakaway, but on this partial breakaway, it is Shen getting called for a penalty. As a matter of fact, Marchment is being awarded a penalty shot, so Lankinen has to come up with a glove save on Marchment's penalty shot attempt. Nashville Predators survive this opportunity. 5:50 of the second period, it's Wedgwood coming with a save on Goryanov. At 5:57 of the second, it's Dallas scoring a goal, but the play is immediately challenged for offsides, and it is in fact deemed to be offsides, so it is overturned. The goal is taken off of the board. At 7:20 of the second period, so just a minute and 23 seconds after the goal is taken off of the board, it's Luke Evangelista scoring his 7th goal of the season, giving the Nashville Predators a 2-0 lead. It was a 2-on-1 rush, and Evangelista does a good job of a professional goal scorer right here, looking Wedgwood off on the 2-on-1 at the pass and then taking and ripping the shot, going blocker side. Really great play overall by Luke Evangelista. Now his 7th goal of the season. The Preds lead 2-0. We're at 8:15 now of the second period. It's Lankinen coming up with a save on Fox at 9:29, just before the midway point of this game. It's Sagan getting Dallas on the board with his 14th goal of the season. It was Matt Duchene making the pass from down low to out high, and this was pretty incredible execution by everyone involved. Matt Duchene from behind the net below the goal line makes the pass to a crashing Sagan coming straight down the slot, and he finishes the play off by beating Lankinen for his 14th goal of the season, getting Dallas on the board 2-1 now in favor of the Predators. 10:33 of the second period, Wedgwood coming with a save on Forsberg. At 11:17 the second period, Wedgwood coming with a save on Goryanov. At 12:07 of the second, Lankinen comes with a save on Robertson after the puck hit the post. It actually first hits the glass and takes a weird bounce. Then the return of that hits the post, and then the return of that has to be stopped by Lankinen. An incredible sequence right here. Very wild moment. 13:56 of the second, Lankinen comes with a save on Sagan. 14:18 of the second period, it's Lankinen coming with a save on Marchment plus his follow-up immediately after. 15:52, Lankinen comes up with a save on Lindell at the 16:44 mark of the second period. It's Lankinen coming up with a save on Steele at 17:52. Lankinen, another save on Sagan. The Dallas Stars are definitely putting the pressure on the Nashville Predators here in the second period. In 19:09 of the second period, Parson ends up taking a penalty, 2 minutes for interference. This happens in the offensive zone, got caught with the pick play. A truly tough moment for Parson and a bad play overall. Dallas is going to convert on the power play almost immediately when Ben deflects the puck from the low slot into the net, beating Lankinen for his 8th goal of the season, tying the game up at 2 apiece here in the final minute of the second period. The Dallas Stars certainly do not worry about how much time is left on the clock. They just keep on playing, and Ben gets his 8th goal. Since 1954, we see Wedgwood come with a save on Nyquist. That'll end the second period, with Dallas now out shooting the Predators 21-19, so the Dallas Stars pick up 15 shots on goal in the second period. We flip over to the backside of the sheet, and now it's time for the third period. It is going to be 20 seconds into the third period when Lankinen comes up with a save on Johnston at the 2:42 mark of the third period. The two teams started out playing very closely here in the third period. Forsberg picks up his 20th goal of the season. He stick handles at close range and has the backhand finish into the empty net. He had Wedgwood completely down and out of the play, and Forsberg finishes the play off with the backhand. His 20th of the season gives the Nashville Predators back the lead now 3-2 early in the third period. The 4:15 mark of the third period, Lankinen coming up with a save on Craig Smith at 7:28 of the third period. It's Philip Forsberg getting his 2nd goal of the period and his 21st goal of the season. The wraparound goes through the 5-hole, doesn't go for the tuck into the post. The post was sealed, but the pads were not. 5-hole was opened by Wedgwood, and Forsberg cashing in for the second time in the third period. The Preds now lead 4-2 here in Dallas. 9:13 in the third period. Lankinen coming with a save on Marchment, plus the follow-up at the 10:21 mark of the third period. It's Robertson coming up with his 13th goal of the season for the Dallas Stars, and their third goal of the game, making it a one-goal game again. The Preds leading 4-3 at this point. Robertson simply outworked Tommy Novak, just outbattled him, got to the puck, and then outworked the D and outworked Lankinen, and he scored truly a superstar offensive player type of goal, outworking numerous players to try to will his team back into this game. Robertson always finds success against this Nashville Predators team. That was Robertson's 13th of the year at the 10:21 mark, and now we've got a nail-biter coming up in the final minutes of this third period. At 12:14 of the third period, it's Lankinen coming with a save on Matt Duchene. 13:39 of the third period, it's Wedgwood coming with a save on Luzon at the 14:59 mark of the third period. It's Wedgwood coming up with a save on McDonough at 16:34. Lankinen comes up with a save on Zdanoff at close range. We see the 6-on-5 empty net opportunity. The Nashville Predators unable to get control of the puck long enough to generate any shots towards the Dallas net. The Dallas Stars are able to maintain some good, solid pressure with the extra attacker, but the Preds are going down all over the ice, blocking shots, disrupting passing lanes, and doing all they can, and they got just the most timely turnover at the blue line, giving the Nashville Predators an opportunity to finish this game out, and Lankinen did not even have to make a save with the extra attacker on. The Nashville Predators hang on here at the end of the third period to win this game 4-3. The Dallas Stars do end up out shooting the Nashville Predators for the game 29-22, but for the Nashville Predators, they stepped up and went toe-to-toe in what we described as a measuring stick game, and it was Philip Forsberg absolutely throwing the team on his back in the third period and making it go offensively. Both of his goals were high-skilled offensive goals, and it was impressive to see Philip Forsberg step up and take care of that opportunity. The Nashville Predators also, with Lankinen in net, survive a huge surge by the Dallas Stars from the second period and also in the third period. The Dallas Stars going from 6 shots on goal in the first to 21 at the end of the second to 28 at the end of the third. But the Dallas Stars pick up 2 goals in the second period, and they pick up 1 goal in the third period. The Nashville Predators come away with the 4-3 victory. Now 1-1 on the season against the Dallas Stars. Could be 2-0, but we're going to stop talking about the previous game at Bridgestone. They got 2 more opportunities to go up against this Dallas Stars team next Friday, right back into the Stars' den, and they'll have to try to do this again, but they can continue to play good, consistent hockey like this and engage in the battle more like they did in this game. They were in this game from start to finish, and that's why they come away with the victory instead of what we had been seeing in some of these other games. So the good Nashville Predators came back in this game. They picked up a huge division win, huge 2 points over the Dallas Stars in what we call the measuring stick game. That's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Back next on the Renegades of Puck podcast. Thanks so much for joining us for the Renegades of Puck 2023-2024 Nashville Predators season recap. We're doing it in chunks of 5 games, so we sure to appreciate you jumping along on the journey and checking out each and every part. Remember, you can check us out at renegadesofpuck.com. Check us out on social media, and we sure to appreciate each and every one of you for jumping in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, and respect.